strategy meetings that I've had with Steve, it was conveyed to me through what Art told Steve was that Baymaster can put together a very slimmed down version of albums to where we don't have complete car care items in it and just quick lube items. And so that's the premise of the email that I sent over to you, asking what we need to do to get started on tightening the belt on albums, taking out the categories that we don't need, and having it strictly focused on quick lube items. And with that, it's kind of led to this purpose of this call here, and I wanted to screen share because, one, I don't use albums every day, so I really need the visual piece for you to really walk through and explain what it is we're going to go over. And I have Gina here with me just because of her experience having worked in her shop, and kind of leaning on her to kind of have eyes on this and to help me navigate the operational side of it all. But nonetheless, what we really need to do is that if we come to the conclusion that, or what we need to do is that with an October opening date, should we need to make changes to the system, we kind of got to get started on that now. So I guess if you could just kind of walk through it, because you said it's already there, which I understand there's already quick lube feature in albums as is right now. I understand that, but the primary focus is going to be taking out the fact that we don't need to do struts or brakes or anything like that, and we just really want it to be a simple, watered-down version of albums. So with that, I'll let you walk through and kind of show, kind of reintroduce me to the system, and show me what's there now and what changes we can make for this new location we have coming online, because like I said, according to Art, you guys can really do what we need to have done. It's just a matter of coming up with a plan.
Well, yeah, like I said, we had in the past a stripped-down quick lube only version, but we did integrate that. We ended up, especially in the new program, just integrating that in what we have now. You are able to fully remove features that you choose you don't like, such as jobs and stuff. But if there is any program changes, that'd be something we'd be willing to talk about too. It would just have to go through Steve and Art. But for the program, as far as like oil changes go, say we go in, we create a ticket. Say we look up a name as usual. I won't make the customer now because you guys are aware of how to do that. But it's easy. You just hit new customer vehicle. But say we just go in, we have that vehicle, we hit create ticket, and you can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Say we want to hit this LOF button, this just pulls up all of your oil change jobs right away. So all you have to do is this LOF button will pull up oil change jobs only. So then you'll hit, say, $29.95 or whatever your special is. And you can have those jobs, such as this one set, you can have those jobs set to pull up any kind of related items or procedures. So here I have it pulling up the
See all the stuff on the left there, on the left of in the categories part. That's what we don't want to overbear they're going to be master mechanics. So, you know what I mean? They're going to be just quickie loop techs.
Yeah.
So we don't want any extra data for them to even have to, be able to click on.
So the category.
Yeah, the categories.
So having ignition.
You know what I mean?
Well, this, like I said, this is just, you don't have to worry about this. This is just automatically pulling up the parts I have with this job. So this is pulling up the oil filter, fuel filter,
on
and
the
air
job
filter.
Okay.
category.
Okay.
Is all this.
Okay.
And then it's as simple as just clicking on, say, you can either order or use stock. But I'll order that. And then you can order whichever ones you need. And I'll hit order. And I'll hit either save only or save and order. Order would order that right for them. But I'll hit save. And then that'll still pull up how much oil quarts. So right here it's saying 6.02 quarts, including the filter, of 5W20. So here we have 5W20. And we'll click on that. And that'll say, oh, 6.02, do you want to round down, round up, or charge actual? Then we'll charge actual. And you can see here that automatically added additional money for the above 5 quarts. I had this job set to only include up to 5 quarts, so you make sure you're not getting ripped off there. as well as I selected a slightly more expensive oil filter. So the oil filter adds a little bit extra money too because it was a little bit more expensive. And the upgraded, and then you have the air filter and the fuel filter, which weren't included in those quotes. Any questions on that?
Okay. Nope.
Nope. And then again, this data is based upon
The number?
the job category that was created, right?
Wait, say that again?
That's what that's called?
What?
I said this information was pulled off of the pre-canned, so to speak, job category that was pre-built out already.
Well, the parts that came in, yes, as well as this 0.3 hours for that labor change. But the type of oil to pull in, that's generated through our quick lube feature that holds the information. So that will always tell you what type of oil to use. And me selecting what type of oil to use is a manual choice if I selected the highlighted oil. And the parts automatically came up in the part vendor, but I could have chosen different, like more expensive or less expensive parts from my vendor if I chose to.
Okay. That would be going through all that. It would they were able to upsell
Mm-hmm.
to premium. Like, would you like a premium oil filter today
Right.
or whatever? Okay. Okay, well, this is a lot simpler than I thought this was gonna go.
What about a brake service? Can you show us that?
Sure. So brake service, even in the older program, wouldn't really have been part of something for quick lube. And that would be, you could go here to repairs,
You know, it would be that brake flush. That's all that they would need.
like a brake, so not a pad replacement, just like a flush.
Yes, correct.
Okay, well they would just go to their brake job, and they can select that, and if you wanted to, you could delete any of these jobs here.
Okay, that's what we'd have to do for them right
Oh,
there. Yeah, figure it
okay,
out exactly
so-
our services.
So in this case, so if Gina and I were to sit down and put together a list of these categories for you guys, could you go ahead and do that to where it's all set and ready to go when it's quote-unquote installed, for lack of a better term? I know we don't install it, it's all web-based, but that's what I'm calling it.
And it's at the store.
It's all set and ready to go with only the categories that they're absolutely going to need?
We could, you'd have to consult with Art for how much that would cost. It shouldn't be too much time, but we can talk about that and see how much that would be, and then we'd be able to go there and see what's going on.
Okay,
Okay, so basically it'd be cost to
streamline it.
streamline the categories, take in, out, take
Just so it
categories in, or
doesn't-
take categories out.
And you might also want, with that, I'll show you, we have departments that might want to be streamlined if for some reason you didn't want that, and maybe the inventory if they wanted to delete a lot of like generic inventory items. But say
Correct,
you want to do
yeah.
a brake job, you could either hit this brake or you could have a sub.
We're not going to do brakes there.
Oh.
We're not going to do brakes there. We're going to keep it real simple for now.
What do you mean?
See how it goes. Because it's like 30-minute in and out.
It's a quick lube location.
Yeah.
It's not full, complete car care repair.
Auto Lab Express.
Yeah, but
in
you
and
still
out.
most likely want to put a brake job on the ticket if you're doing a brake flush.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it would just be brake fluid, pretty much. That's all we're going to do, if they can even do it.
So you,
That's a question for Steve.
yeah, so you'd hit
But,
brake.
yeah, we're not going to do actual pads and rotors or nothing like that.
Yeah. But and if you wanted to, their motor could also tell you how much fluid. So you could say just tell you how much fluid it should have, and the type of the fluid just from that brake.
Okay, got it. Good. Yeah, because we're going to need the differential fluid type too. When they punch in the VIN number, will that bring all that information up for them?
Yes, they can decode it by plate or VIN.
Okay. Okay, great. So that'll make that easy for them too.
Yeah.
Perfect. This category right there, we're definitely going to have.
And that, instead of using a catalog for the labor, you might want to have a flat rate on how much that you'd cost to do a brake flush.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna check around on that and see to be competitive. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, that would be pretty simple there. and you'd probably want to put in like a fee that you could track through the inventory. So like if you go here, you can have like, for example, here I have a tire disposal fee. You might want something that way to track, or you could just put it as like a surcharge through the surcharges screen, and these will be on every ticket. So you can go in and have it just automatically charge like an environmental or something.
We'll probably do our disposal, the fluid disposal.
Yeah, fluid and oil disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Fluid disposal, so that will have to probably be set up.
Any questions on that?
No.
No. I guess in terms of time, for streamlining categories, the inventory and whatnot, what would you say, how long that would actually take to do?
It wouldn't take long at all. It depends on our current workload and like call volume, but we should be able to get that in quickly enough.
So, I don't know, if we had a block time from project start date to end date, would 3 weeks be more than ample to kind of block out and say that's how long it's going to probably take?
I believe so, but I would have to talk to Art first. I'd have to talk to Art and one of the programmers and just see there.
Okay. So, categories, inventory, what else would we need to look at when we want to streamline things here to have done? I'm trying to get a list together of what needs to be done, so when I send a note to Art to try to get what it's going to take to get this done, I have everything I need.
Well, I mean, as far as
basically.
what you're looking to do, if you're just tracking the oil changes, like I said, it's as simple as just going to create ticket. You can put in the customer name, and either create a new customer, or use an existing. You just add the vehicle.
They're probably all going to be new. A whole new area, new everything.
Yeah. So you would just go in, you'd add a new customer, you'd put that stuff in. You'd go to add vehicle, which would be the same as if I went here. And you decode by the plate or the VIN, and then you just hit that add ticket button. And go here, hit oil change, whichever oil change jobs you wanted. Save that. Select any parts that come with that from your vendor.
Okay. No, this is pulling through from vendors. This location is going to have on-site stock as well. So what's going to be the process to enter that into the album system to track?
Say that again?
Stuff that they're going to have an inventory there.
Yeah, this location is going to have on-site inventory. And so with that, what would need to be done to track that inventory in the album system? Because it's going to be kind of, we're still going to have to where we're pulling information from vendors for hotshot if they don't have on-site. But they're also going to have on-site inventory that we're going to have to log into the system so they can manage and track how much they have on-site physically.
So they would go here to this, they could go to this part number of whatever their vendor has that oil filter, and they just have to make sure they stock that same part number that that vendor has, if they want it to be the same. And then it would track, then you could choose either use stock or order at that point. So you'd
Okay,
waste some
but
time.
where would we enter that? Where would that information get entered in the albums though? Is that that's going to have to be a manual process, I would assume.
Yes, that goes to the inventory editor. and then they would just add it as simple as hitting this add new record button, item part number, and they would just paste in that number we had.
Okay. Well, we'll have to make sure. Dang it.
Yeah, so we could have it pre-done for them.
Because we're
We
gonna.
could do it for them. Here.
Yeah, that's. Well, and I assume they're gonna give us like an Excel spreadsheet or something that has, you know,
Everything on it with
part
our
number X
list.
Y Z.
Right.
This many you have on site. So okay. And then with the retail,
Mm-hmm.
get the margins. Okay. All right. All right, so everything that we need is there. It's just a matter of just streamlining it, and whatever art's going to require for that project to start is the next step that we need to take. And then after that, I assume, I don't know what your thought is, Jacob, but after discussing with Art what he's going to charge or require of us to get this done. After that, I don't know what your thoughts on are trying to get and planning the streamlining of it, whether we have another call and we just go through category by category and decide is this needed or not needed, or if we have to sit down and Gina and I and Steve have to sit down and kind of write out a list of what we absolutely need and then hand it off to you. I'm not really sure what approach you're going to want to take on
The
it.
second one would probably be easier, but either would most likely work.
Okay. Okay. Gina, is there anything that pops up to you that we need clarifying on, or
Not
did it
yet.
look pretty straightforward to you?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what, okay. So she's,
We're just going to have to figure out our,
the package is based upon what we're...
yeah,
going
our
with.
services,
Yeah,
exact
yeah,
services, yeah.
Okay.
On the line.
This clarifies a lot. For me, Gina says she's all set and everything's pretty straightforward as to what we need is, like I said, we just need to figure out the next steps to streamline this thing to where it's ready to go for part 4, so.
Okay, perfect.
Do you have any questions for me, Jacob?
No, that should be it. That's all we need. I'll send you this just in case. That way you have it for kind of training purposes, and we'll be good from there.
Yeah, that'd be great having this video clip to where I can look at it and go back if I need to. Is there like is there a dummy account, training dummy account login that I can get to where I'm not like logging into an actual source system to poke around in and look around?
I believe there's an
because
AutoLab
that would
dummy
be
account.
helpful.
I'd have to find that number though.
Yeah, if you could, and then send over the credentials so that we have it to where we can log back in and kind of walk through things again if we need to, just because I know for sure I am, because like I said, I don't use this every day to where I know it inside and out, so going through my notes, I'll probably have to walk myself through it a couple times, and so will Gina.
Mhm.
So if we could have the dummy account sent to us so we can do that, that would be great.
Okay, perfect.
All right, well, I appreciate your time. I will get with Steve and we'll get direction from Art as to what his requirements are to get this done, and then we'll be in touch.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thanks, Jacob.
No problem.
Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you later. Bye.
Yep,
Okay.
bye.